Welcome to News Edge, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. August 23rd, 2025, a date that may soon be remembered as a turning point in European history. As the sun rises over Europe, the continent stands on the threshold of a new era, one defined not by conflict, but by a bold vision for peace and security. The United Kingdom and France, two of Europe's most influential military powers, are preparing to send troops to Ukraine. But this is not a deployment for war. Instead, these forces are being readied for a mission of peace, aiming to stabilize and support a nation scarred by years of conflict. Importantly, these soldiers will only set foot in Ukraine after a formal peace agreement is signed between Ukraine and Russia. Their presence will be a direct result of diplomacy, not escalation. This marks a significant shift in Europe's approach to its own security. For decades, Europe has relied heavily on alliances, but now, it is stepping forward to take greater responsibility for its future. Around 10 European nations are actively considering joining this reassurance force. Each country brings its own strengths, resources, and commitment to the table, creating a truly multinational effort. The mission is clear: to prevent any resurgence of aggression and to help build a foundation for lasting peace. These troops will not only deter threats, but also assist in rebuilding trust and stability in communities affected by war. This is a proactive move, demonstrating Europe's unwavering commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and independence. It's a message to the world that Europe stands with Ukraine, not just in words, but in action. European leaders are already planning for stability even before the final chapter of the conflict is written. Their focus is on ensuring that peace, once achieved, will endure. The presence of European troops, even in a non-combat peacekeeping role, would send a powerful signal of unity and solidarity. It shows that Europe is willing to stand together shoulder to shoulder for a common cause. This is more than just financial aid or distant support, it's hands-on involvement, soldiers helping to rebuild infrastructure, distribute humanitarian aid, and restore a sense of normalcy for families who have endured so much. With this plan, Europe is redefining its role in regional security. It's a move away from the traditional reliance on the US-led NATO umbrella and toward a more independent European-led approach. Now, a European-led initiative is taking center stage, capturing the attention of both allies and rivals around the globe. The world is watching closely. Can diplomacy and unity turn this ambitious vision into reality? The outcome of this mission could set a precedent for how future conflicts are resolved. The stakes for Europe and for Ukraine couldn't be higher. The decisions made now will shape the security and stability of the continent for generations to come. What will these European troops actually do in Ukraine? Many people wonder if their arrival signals a new phase of the conflict, or if it's something different entirely. The answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Their mission is not to fight on the front lines, but to act as a shield, offering peace, stability, and reinforcement. These troops are here to support, not to escalate. Their presence is meant to reassure both Ukraine and its allies that Europe stands behind them, not to provoke further violence. The reassurance force will focus on training and modernizing Ukraine's military, equipping it with the skills and technology needed for long-term defense. By sharing expertise and resources, they help Ukraine build a military that can stand on its own, ready to face future challenges. Hundreds of UK and French soldiers will be stationed far from the immediate danger of the front, working closely with Ukrainian units in safer zones. Their collaboration is about building trust, sharing knowledge, and creating a unified approach to security. Their focus is on advanced training, improving command structures, and introducing Western military standards. This includes everything from leadership development to logistics and battlefield communication. The ultimate goal is a self-sufficient Ukrainian military, capable of deterring future threats without constant outside help. By empowering local forces, Europe hopes to ensure Ukraine's long-term security. This is fundamentally a peacekeeping and stabilization effort, not a wartime deployment. The troops are there to maintain calm, support reconstruction, and foster a sense of normalcy for Ukrainian citizens. Their visible presence deters potential aggression and sends a clear message: the international community is invested in Ukraine's sovereignty and future. By securing peace and stability, these forces allow Ukraine to rebuild its cities, schools, and infrastructure without the constant fear of renewed invasion or disruption. While full NATO membership for Ukraine remains a contentious and complex issue, this multinational reassurance force offers a practical, immediate alternative that avoids the political complications of formal alliance. It's a tangible security presence that respects political boundaries and avoids crossing red lines that could escalate the conflict further. The reassurance force represents a creative, balanced solution to a complex and evolving problem, one that requires both strength and restraint. In this way, Europe supports Ukraine not just with words, but with action, navigating a delicate geopolitical landscape while standing firm for peace, stability, and shared values. The United States has drawn a clear and unwavering line. There will be no American troops deployed to Ukraine, neither during the current conflict nor in any post-war scenario. This policy is not just a matter of strategy, but a reflection of a broader consensus within the U.S. government and among its leaders. Both former President Trump and current President Biden, despite their many differences, stand united on this issue. There will be no direct military confrontation with Russia. This rare agreement across the political spectrum underscores the gravity and complexity of the situation. Yet America's absence on the ground does not mean a lack of commitment or support. Instead, the U.S. has chosen to back Ukraine in powerful strategic ways that don't require boots on the ground. The United States will provide cutting-edge intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, blanketing Ukraine's skies with unmatched technological prowess. These efforts ensure that Ukraine is never blind to threats from above. Advanced satellites and drones will deliver real-time data, giving Ukraine early warnings of incoming attacks or troop movements. This high-tech shield forms a critical layer of defense, helping Ukraine anticipate and counter threats before they materialize. In addition, the U.S. is supplying Ukraine with state-of-the-art weapons and military technology. From precision-guided missiles to advanced communication systems, these tools are designed to give Ukraine a decisive edge on the battlefield. America's role as an offshore balancer is crucial. By empowering European ground forces and Ukraine's own army, the U.S. ensures that the fight remains local, but with global support and coordination. This division of labor is intentional. It leverages the unique strengths of each ally. While some provide manpower, others contribute technology, intelligence, or logistical expertise. The United States remains deeply involved, offering strategic guidance, intelligence sharing, and operational support, all without putting its own soldiers at risk. Europe provides the boots on the ground, taking on the direct risks of combat. Meanwhile, America delivers high-tech overwatch, logistical support, and the backbone of modern warfare. Together, these efforts form a comprehensive and sustainable security package, one that is built to last and adapt as the situation evolves. This united front is highly effective, even if the roles and contributions of each partner are different. The synergy between nations is what makes this alliance so formidable. The message to Ukraine and the world is clear. Ukraine is not alone. The support is visible, tangible, and unwavering. The West remains committed, with each partner contributing in its own way. This collective resolve sends a powerful signal. The defense of Ukraine is a shared responsibility, and the world is watching. Ukraine's post-war security will not hinge on NATO membership. Instead, a new, legally binding security pact is in the works. An attack on Ukraine would trigger a collective response from all signatories, similar to NATO's Article 5, but outside NATO. President Zelensky supports this as a vital guarantee for Ukraine's future. These agreements will be ready to sign as soon as a peace deal is reached. Over 30 countries are building a broad coalition to back Ukraine's defense. This approach offers stability and deters future aggression without provoking Russia over NATO expansion. It's a pragmatic compromise, addressing Ukraine's needs and political realities. If successful, this model could shape future international security solutions. The world is watching to see if this innovative pact can deliver lasting peace. Russia's response? Strong opposition. Moscow calls any foreign troops in Ukraine a red line and a direct threat. This stance is a major obstacle. Russia holds a veto over any peace deal. Western diplomats must convince Moscow the reassurance force is defensive, not a threat. Yet Russia's actions often contradict its words. Missile attacks continue even as peace talks are discussed. This dual strategy, talking while fighting, keeps Ukraine and its allies on edge. The gap between Russia's statements and its military actions is the central dilemma. Neutral countries like Switzerland are trying to broker talks, but violence persists. For peace to happen, Russia must de-escalate and show real willingness to compromise. Until then, the reassurance force remains a plan on paper. The world waits for a genuine shift in Moscow's approach. Only then can peace and the reassurance force become reality. The UK is leading Europe's effort to secure Ukraine's future. London is preparing to send hundreds of troops focused on training and mentoring, not combat. The goal: build a resilient, professional Ukrainian army. British troops will symbolize enduring support for Ukraine's independence. The UK's commitment is coordinated with the US, which provides air and intelligence support. This division of labor maximizes their collective impact. Upcoming meetings will finalize security guarantees and operational plans. The UK's leadership sends a clear message: Ukraine will not be left vulnerable. British resolve is a cornerstone of the reassurance force. France stands with the UK as a principal architect of Ukraine's security plan. President Macron's government is ready to deploy hundreds of French troops for training and support. France's involvement signals a shift toward European strategic autonomy. French forces will help professionalize Ukraine's military, reducing future reliance on outside help. The UK-France partnership forms the backbone of the reassurance force. Their joint commitment shows Europe is willing to put personnel on the ground for peace. France's strategy includes military, diplomatic, and economic support. By investing in Ukraine's future, France is investing in Europe's stability. This decisive action demonstrates France's readiness to lead in its own neighborhood. Everything depends on a peace agreement. No troops will deploy until Ukraine and Russia sign a formal deal. Diplomacy is the critical path. Military plans mean nothing without it. Negotiations are complex, involving territory, alliances, and sovereignty. Neutral countries like Switzerland are stepping in to mediate. The Swiss have even offered controversial incentives to bring leaders to the table. The world wants peace, but fighting continues. The reassurance force is a symbol of hope, but remains a contingency plan. Genuine de-escalation and compromise are needed for progress. Until then, peace and the reassurance force remains out of reach. Western allies are divided on Ukraine's future. One vision: Ukraine as a neutral state, with security guarantees but no NATO membership. Another: strengthen Ukraine so it can choose its own path, including possible Western integration. The core dilemma: end the war quickly with compromise, or secure Ukraine's full integration, even if it's harder. President Zelensky and most Ukrainians want full integration, not neutrality. The final peace deal must balance these competing visions. The outcome will shape Europe's security for decades. The world is watching as history is written in Ukraine.